A lot of the tours that I did, the like 17, 20-day ones, I did on a motorcycle.
On a motorcycle?
With that guitar strapped on the back of it. And
that's badass.
And I'll tell you, if you're not getting some good stories traveling around the country on a motorcycle with a guitar on the back, you're doing something wrong. you are messing up if you're not getting some good stories out of that.
So hold on, where do you start at and where do you end at on a motorcycle? Like, what state do you start in? What state do you end in?
So all my tours I set up as a loop. So
okay.
It's, I was living in North Carolina for a bit, but now everything starts in Cleveland, and I do a loop and come back around to it.
Sounds
so
good.
For example, one route might be start in Cleveland and then hit Columbus and then Louisville, Kentucky, and then you go a little bit further south, and then you cut east and do a string of shows through Georgia. You get down to Florida, then you make your way up the East Coast and hit Baltimore and then New York and then circle your way back, hit Philadelphia. You hit Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, hit Pittsburgh, and then you're back home.
Oh, I see what you did, the loop. Yeah. Oh, wow.
So you get that kind of loop, and then you can do those in different directions where you head up to like New England and you do a loop up there that takes you all the way up to Maine and then down through Connecticut and all that and back that way. And
that sounds like a fucking journey, a great journey.
It is. I mean, I've seen a lot of the country from behind the handlebars of a motorcycle.
Do you record any type of documentation of that?
I took a lot of pictures along the way, but I had an idea at one point to try to do like a little documentary series about what it's like to do that.
Yep.
But the logistics of it to really do it right. So much of the travel was focused on getting to the next destination, like playing the show, that adding that extra layer of trying to really document it. I never quite got to that point. I wanted to. I thought about.
Which you had like a video man following you around.
Right, exactly. Like somebody in a car that's got the camera going on me the whole time. You're trying to act like you're out on the open road by yourself, but you really got a camera crew and like the whole. It's like those shows like the Grand Tour or any of those where actually if you want a great series mini series about that kind of traveling, Long Way Round is it's a story about Ewan McGregor and one of his buddies that circumnavigated the entire globe on motorcycles.
And it's called Long Way Round?
Long Way Round. Yep, they went all the way from England across Europe, all the way through Russia, and then over to Alaska, and then back down to the United States.
They went on a journey.
Yeah, they went the whole way that they as far as you possibly could on land. Right. As far as that route
Did
goes.
they inspire you to do your journey like that?
I'm trying to remember which came first. Whether I watched it because I'd been doing the motorcycle trips or vice versa. But it certainly if there was a point where I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this again. Like I said, until the health issues held me up, because I had a pretty bad ankle injury over a year ago. I'm all about safety. I wear the full protective gear and all that. So if I'm not feeling comfortable on the bike, I'm not gonna go out and do that. So that's all been on hold for the moment until I get this thing.
Hey, you'll be back up and rolling soon, man.
I'm doing those physical therapy exercises, and I'm back to taking stairs 2 at a time. So I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there.
Like you said, life is a journey, man.
Absolutely.
And such as you on this journey of music, man, it sounds like you're just running with the passion right now. Like, no, seriously, like you're living the dream. You say you just. What made you just want to just give up? I'm just going to go travel and play music,
So, music, like we talked about, it's been a passion since I was like 14 years old. Right. But so I came across this idea not too long before, and this was really the like tipping point of like, I have this motorcycle idea. Am I actually going to do this? But it's called the law of anecdotal value, I'm sure the original formulation was slightly different, but the version that I use is: given any choice in life, assuming no harm to others, always choose the path that's going to give you the best stories. Because as a songwriter, that's our currency, is the stories that we've accumulated, the people we've met, the experiences we had. So I think it might have been my friend Neil that when I posted a picture of my first motorcycle, he's like, "You going on tour on that thing?"
Right.
I was like, Oh, I guess I am now.
So, what kind of motorcycle you have?
So my primary motorcycle right now is a 2008 Triumph Bonneville.
Okay.
So yeah, it's got real old school look to it. I've got another one that's in the garage and isn't working right now. That's a 1974 Swiss military bike. Looks like looks like Indiana Jones should have just stolen it. Like,
how long you had that for?
That was actually the one that I did my first motorcycle tour on.
You did a tour on that?
Yeah.
That's badass.
It broke down halfway through. but I got an amazing story out of that too.
What's the story about that one, man?
So I'm trying to remember exactly where I was. Charleston, South Carolina. I played a show in Charleston the night before, and I was heading south out of town to play a show in Florida. And like, you know, there was this big bridge that I went over, and the bike just wasn't managing to get any juice going up that bridge. And after coming down, like I couldn't get any acceleration. I managed to limp it into, like, it kept stalling like while I was going. Limped it into this gas station, and you know, I was like, all right, what do I do now? I was looking at it, trying to figure out if there was anything specific that I could see that with the tools I had on hand that I could fix, and there wasn't anything obviously wrong with it.
Right.
And so I asked the gas station, like, hey, is there anyone around here that might be able to look at this? And they were like, well, right over there's a tire shop, and people that run that are they're super nice. You know, walk over there, chat with them. They might know someone that can help you out. And so I ended up meeting this woman and her boyfriend that ran the tire shop. And I stayed there for the afternoon because this is when I was living in North Carolina still. I was only, even though I'd been on the road for a week and a half at that point, I was only about a 4-hour drive from Asheville where I lived at that point. And my roommate at the time, my buddy Chris, he was like, hey man, I can be there by evening. We can get that on the trailer and get it back to, back home. You only have to cancel one show, and you can finish the tour in your car. So during the 6-hour wait between then, the woman that owned the tire shop basically adopted me. She like went down the road and brought me back a sandwich. And,
that's love
and stuff.
That's dope.
And she had told me we've got a garage out back that you could store this in for as long as you wanted if you needed to. That didn't end up happening, but I was a complete stranger. She took me in, took care of me, and then this was 3 years later. I was coming through on a different tour on a different motorcycle. I was in good shape.
I got you.
And I was like, I have to see if she's still there. And I pull up to where the tire shop had been, and it had been changed into a birdhouse boutique. And I was,
whoa, that's a big change.
I know, and I was heartbroken, and I was looking around. I was searching for things online, see if I could find anything on my phone.
Right.
And there was a woman with a produce cart, who was right across the street, and I went and chatted with her, and I was like, yeah, the woman who used to run this, she was really kind to me 3 years ago, and I wanted to say thank you. And she's like, oh yeah, Ruth. She shut down the tire shop after her boyfriend passed. But she works at the restaurant right down there.
Okay.
And she lives in she lives just right down that road. She's got a VW Beetle. So drive down there. Here's the address. House looks like this. If the Beetle's not there, then go to this restaurant.
Right.
And so I drove there. No car on the driveway, drove to the restaurant, and I walked in with the guitar on the back, and she's like, Michael! And she went and talked to the manager, and I ended up playing a concert in the restaurant for
really.
Yeah, she's like, set it up. We want to hear you play.
Oh,
sure,
let's do it.
Yeah, and they, again, she was like, he's playing for our customers. You need to feed this boy. And I was like, I'm not gonna say no.
Right, man. Hey, that sounds like a great experience. I would have said yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got some food too?
Yeah, I got fed. I just set out my guitar case and played for tips, and But you know, someone who had been so kind to me, and like one of the, because that was one of those moments where you know your bike dies when you're halfway through, you know, your first tour. That was my first tour.
Right.
And you're like, what am I gonna do? And again, it's everywhere I've gone. It's just been kindness is awesome. What I've found everywhere, and being able to, you know, to come back and find her again. It felt like something out of a movie. Like, you know, you've got that sad scene where you pull up and like, and the tire shop's gone, and you're about to just hit the road all dejected, and then this lady at a produce cart is like, "You looking for someone, honey?"
Yeah, you know, it's like
tell me that's not a movie script.
It is. I agree.